What advice would you give to me, a black female starting out in this business? I have a full-time job that pays extremely well. I just want to get out of the rat race and make my own schedule.
Well, I want to first of all tell you, Denise, that you will never make your own schedule. That very line right there is going to tell you that you have a very big uphill battle because when you start, you're not going to make your own schedule. Your customers will make your schedule for you. You want Friday off and $1,000 job comes in, you just had your schedule remade because you're not going out to do whatever you wanted to do. You're going to do that $1,000 job. So I think if your goal is to just go out and find a replacement for a well-paying job, understand that your well-paying job is half the hours that you're going to put into owning a business, right? You have to replace your income. Now, I don't know your income. Let's just say it's $100,000, right? In order for you to make $100,000 in EBITDA earnings to bring home 100 grand in junk removal, you're going to have to sell 225,000, maybe 200, and you'll bring home 100, right? So I wouldn't necessarily get rid of your well-paying job and just say, fuck it, I'm going to go do junk removal. I can't speak to race because I'm not neither one of those things. I'm not black and I'm not a female, so I can't tell you how to go about using it. I'm sure you can have an advantage over a lot of people being a minority and being a woman-run business. I would push that, hey, minority female owned or something along those lines. Go to Chat GPT and just ask them how to describe your business. I'm a black female. I own a junk removal company that's called blah, 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 blah. What's the best way to describe me as the owner? I like this, this, this. And you can literally, it'll spit out your description in 2 minutes. That thing is way smarter than me. So, but, start off small. Don't work the weekends, work at night. A lot of people, they can't work weekends because, guys like me who are booked on the weekends, once our trucks are full, we can't do anything because we can't get to the dump. That most places don't have the dumps open. If you're only working on the weekends, you're going to have the ability to pick those jobs up on Saturday and Sunday. And then you can start taking the money, putting it off to the side and holding on to it so that you can start getting enough income on the weekends that you can at least match or be close match to your full-time job. The other thing with a full-time job is you're going to make $100,000 a year. It's predictable. You're going to know exactly how much money you're making so you can know exactly how much to pay your bills with, right? In junk removal, that doesn't work. In January, we wrote 60,000. This month we'll write 100. My bills are set the same whether it's in January or it's in May or June. So there's months that you go through where you just make payroll. You just make it. Or in the case of the last 3 months, you didn't even make enough because the economy is so bad that you've had to go and rely on credit cards to get through. Now, what'll happen is in the next month, I'll pay all those off. But that's just kind of the way it works in junk removal. If you had 100, if I had $150,000 job to start, I never would have got into this. I'd never even would have thought about it ever. I would have took the benefits, took my 5 weeks vacation, my Roth 401k, and just
Is
been working
somebody
for the
got
man.
music going on in the background or
No,
something?
that's my Florida phone ringing now. So now
Ah,
I've
okay.
got that phone fucking going off in the corner.
I didn't know what was going on for a
Well,
minute
hopefully
there.
you have like an AI answer machine that will take care of that phone call for you if you know.
Yeah, most Florida phone calls at this hour are all spam. So
Yeah, yeah.
I got to also, I just want to throw in one more thing for
yeah,
Denise. And that was because I'm kind of at the beginning stages. So just like you said, Denise, you're always gonna just be on call. It's like working for the fire department when like you never know when that next fire is, but you always got to be ready to make that move. That's
yeah,
kind of what it is at the beginning, and especially like that first month or two when you don't got like regular jobs, you're not scheduled anything beforehand, so you're
Mhm.
just on call anytime, any day. Like I I would get a call like on a Monday or a Tuesday, 9 o'clock at night. Boom, I'm ready. I'm jumping right on that at the beginning and all that because that's just another person you're throwing in the Rolodex, building
Mhm.
that client list up there. So
Mhm. You
and I
definitely
think
gotta, you
this,
definitely gotta eat, sleep, and shit this junk removal business.
yeah,
oh,
you
you do. It's not.
Adam has
It's not a part
something to
time
say
thing.
here. He says, Ricardo's dumb new video, don't pull all your eggs in one basket, then proceeds to put all his eggs in YouTube. And he says also he was insinuating that boosting posts on Facebook and Instagram was dumb because Google gives favor to YouTube, which isn't relevant to boosting posts internally on Facebook or Instagram.
So here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to give you this real quick. Everybody in here talks about Google, right? What people have to understand is you have to diversify from just Google, right? So you can't just use Google and expect that this is just going to pump $1 million into you or $200,000 a year. You can't. So there are advantages to boosting posts. You can do it very quickly. You can do it long term. You can do videos. You can do pictures. Whatever you want to do. I don't know anything about Instagram. I look at Instagram as this is my fake world. Look how great I am, and that's not the way it is. So I don't know anything about Instagram. I think my Instagram for my personal has been like 2 years since I posted something, and the business one has been at least 6 months. I do not use Instagram, so I can't speak to it. But Google, you can't just expect Google. The one that everybody sleeps on, and I would highly recommend anybody who's listening to this, you're going to go to Bing.com. Okay. And everybody in here is going to go, who's Bing? Right. Well, Bing.com is the second largest search engine in the country. Right. They own about 26% of the search, if I'm not mistaken. And so what happens is the way that Bing and Google work is Google owns all of the search algorithms and all of that stuff. They lease it to Microsoft. So when you go to Microsoft in Bing.com, you make the same exact profile as you do in Google, right? So now you have everyone who searches on Google is going to find you, and anybody who searches on Bing is going to find you. And some people will say, well, why are you pushing Bing and all this other stuff? And it goes back to what I told you earlier. If you go and look on your Bing.com right now, and anybody can search this, I don't care where you are in the country, anybody can look at this. Bing.com and type in junk removal near me, and you tell me if the franchises are on Bing.com.
1-800-JUNK, first thing.
Right. So do yourself a favor and realize that they know way the fuck more than all of us combined. They have data from 150 company or franchises in different countries. They know the search terms, the volume, the day that they call. They know everything. So if they know that to put something on Bing, you probably should do it too, right? The same thing I said earlier about Google Ads.
Any platform or directory you could get that on, you're just adding to your SEO, and why the hell not? You know,
Right.
the way I look at it is throw everything you can at it. You know what I mean?
Well, the other one too that people don't use is Apple Maps. Apple is on every iPhone. It's the biggest search engine for pretty much every directional thing. You can go to Apple Maps and you can make the same thing on Apple Maps. So now you're on Apple Maps, which has got the most amount of phones in America. You got the first and second search engines. A couple other things that a lot of people can do is they can go to a website called Yext. It's yext.com. It's $499 a year. And what they do is you give them all the information for you, and they will literally go to the top 75 search engines, which is Yellow Pages, Bright Local,
I
all
got
of them.
one. I got one that does like 500. I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
did one with Google, and they go across the whole computer,
Yep.
and they make sure every
Everything's
single
the same.
number, every
Yep.
address is the exact same. And you're going to be
Yep.
surprised because you'll find things and you'll be like, how did that phone number get up there?
Yep.
But they'll fix everything because I
Yep.
had that with the tracking numbers. I listened to everybody at the beginning, and I went and did the different tracking number on my truck and, different tracking number for everything. So now Google's looking at it as like you have 3 or 4 different company phone numbers. You're confusing the shit out of them. That was the worst thing I could have did. And one of the Google people that seen that was like, you got to fix this right away, man. Like, so thank God I did that right at the beginning. But if you're in the game for a couple of years and all, I definitely recommend what Russ is saying, which is yext.com, and they'll go in across all the major directories and they'll just get all your info, worked out. And I think they do it in like a time frame where it's like
a week
or like, but no, I think it's a little slower. So it lets Google like digest everything. I think they break it up. They don't do it overnight. It's over like a month time. Each week they do another segment, they'll do like 10-15, and then the next week they'll do another 10-15. So as you're watching it, you're watching your Google search, you're ranking, you're getting so much more websites that are coming up. And I'm on all these different review sites that I've never signed up or anything. I'm like, how the hell did I get on that? You know what I mean? So it starts finding its own reviews on you as well.
Yeah, and the other one that I use too is Moz.com. It's Moz.com. and it's more or less like a background SEO booster. It's $20 a month, and then you can add, I think it's the data aggregators are $4 a month, which helps boost it faster. So it's like $24 a month. I don't do SEO. I don't know shit about it. I don't like SEO. I've never done SEO. So for me, I'm like, for $25 a month. I mean, that's lunch. So I mean, just won't eat lunch today. You know what I mean? Like it's for $25. It does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something. So my Google guy in Florida told me about it. So I use it for both. But I think the one thing that a lot of people, I'll just touch on SEO real quick because I know a lot of people are into it, right? And a lot of people want to push it. And there's this narrative among people that SEO is better because you're not paying for leads, right? If that were the case, what are you spending $2,000 a month on? Because if you're spending $2,000 a month to get free organic leads, they're not fucking free. Okay? You're spending $2,000 a month to get leads, whether you want to look at it that way or you want to, pretend that, ooh, I'm just working up the rankings, right? The other thing is that when people sign up for SEO, most of the guys that are selling this to you don't tell you actually how long it's going to take to work, right? The average time is 6 to 9 months before you'll even start to see it move up. Now, if you're going to spend $2,000 a month on SEO to get results in 6 to 9 months, why would you not spend $2,000 in Google ads to get results today or tomorrow? To me, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. The other issue
Let me ask you though, is it two different worlds that you're building? Should it be separated and not even compared?
I
Because
don't know.
The way I look at it, man, is like the SEO is like the long run. You're building that, that's kind of like your organic building and just getting your keywords and all that. Where the Google ads is, that's just straight up marketing you're paying. So if you eliminate that tomorrow, you pretty much have nothing. Where if you build on that SEO, you pretty much have some because you're going to organically come up in that top 3.
Right.
That's the goal.
Well, there's a couple different things that you can look at, right? So you can be in the top 3 of map packs, and that's all done on wherever you are searching. Now, there are some things that people can do to get you in a better location through, tricks and bots and things like that I don't understand, but I've had people offer it to me that told me they could do it. And they showed me things that they've done for people within like 2 months. So for map ranking, SEO, I think, especially in large cities, would probably be working. Then after that, you go into the main page. Now, I can search. Coincidentally, I just happened to search junk removal in Dallas, Fort Worth, because someone recently made the comment that they own the DFW area and they have it on lockdown, and they brag about their SEO websites and how fantastic they do. I'm looking at it on the second page, which no one fucking gets to. And above you are college hunks, J-Dog, Junk Quest, stand-up guys, all these other guys that are bigger than you. And why is that? It's because they have more data than you. They can do backlinks. I can tell you that there's my mentor and coach now is the president of the 3rd largest franchise of junk removal. I worked with him for 2 years. I actually spent $1,500 a month for 2 years to pick this guy's brain, and he was fucking. It's the best $30,000 I've ever spent in my life.
And who is that?
It's Justin Waltz. So Justin, Dave Lettick went there. Abel's been there. He did a mastermind in 2022, and I think that was $1,500 a person. And then I went the second year, and then I just went last year, and I was an advisor to him. I actually got the little badge here from him. It was great. As an advisor, a badass, and chief troublemaker. So I was the one that they brought in to basically go through someone's business and say, okay, I don't think this is going to work. Why do you want to do it this way? What is you thinking that it's going to come out at the end of this?
Hold on one second, guys. We got somebody in the chat that's he's getting a little spicy in here. Troll Hunter. I never seen this guy. He
Yeah,
says, where the hell is Andrew? Russ was talking so much smack on the last episode. And then he says, can you ask Russ why he blocks everyone on Facebook? Russ, why are you blocking everybody on Facebook, bro? Why are you picking on this guy, man?
First of all, clearly the name suits him. That's all I can say. I don't know who the guy is.
Yeah, he
I don't know who he is.
my shit.
I don't know who it is to say why I block someone, but I will tell you that if I do block someone, it's typically because they're so stupid that I can't even have the conversation with them, and I don't want to even listen to the horse shit that they have to say. Abel knows. Abel was on that. Me and Abel met there. Yeah, Abel knows his shit. Justin knows his shit too. I will tell you that Justin was probably the best. He worked at Got Junk for 9 years as a GM, and then he went over to College Hunks when there was 3 franchises, and he helped it grow to 126 franchises. So he knows a lot of back end stuff, what their marketing was, what the ways that they became successful, and he passed a lot of that on to the people that worked for him. And I would say that almost everybody that went to all of his are north of 600,000-700,000 a year. John Aguirre was there. You guys know John. John was there. Abel was there. Edwidge is there. He's a 7-figure guy. Dave was there. There's Jamie Rios. There's a lot of them that went there. Dalton Wilson was there. Ben was there. There's a lot that were there, and they're all doing really good. They've all bought trucks. They've all expanded. That's why I believe that if you find a good coach or a good mentor, go with them.